Society is demanding men come back. So you guys know that there is a new prime minister in Japan. She's a part of the Conservative Party. So similar to the Republicans in the US, she just won. Her party is now in power, and they are trying to address a lot of issues, everything ranging from immigration to hikikomori lifestyle, which is men who have socially withdrawn from society and walked away. Now they are demanding men come back. Today's video comes from the Japan Reporter channel. His channel will be linked in the description of the video, so you can go check him out, support his content. Why are they now trying to force men back into society? And how is that going to work out for them? Watch to the end of the video to find out what will ultimately happen as the state tries to push men back or force men back into society. Spoiler alert, it's not going to work out. It's not going to go well. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Our Rumble is linked in the description of the video. And guys, don't let them tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Hard times have arrived. Jobs are disappearing fast. And if you lose yours today, you could be homeless in a few months or even a few weeks. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. Go and check out Angry's Trader Academy to learn how to build your own online business using YouTube to grow it. And when you sign up, you will get the free content creator blueprint. The link is in the description below. Go check it out now. Like, share, subscribe to help push us out into the YouTube algorithm. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
Widely recognized Japanese term that people all over the world are talking about.
Current estimates show between 1.25 million or even up to 2 million Japanese citizens have been living in this condition for 6 months or more.
Though it's a widely recognized issue, we still haven't seen much progress. Many people I talk to claim that Japan's not even serious yet about addressing the issue as an urgent matter. Today, quite a few proportion of hikikomori are in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s. And their numbers rapidly growing. This means parents in their 80s take care of their son or daughter in their 50s. And many of those middle-aged hikikomori have been through the employment ice age when Japan's economic growth came to an end. Many people in that generation couldn't find a stable job, which is often in Japan perceived as a failure in society, to the point where they are too ashamed to seek help. Experts claim some of them surely want to rejoin the society, but support is not available. And the longer they've been isolated, the harder it gets to go back to society.
年齢層が高くなってるっていうのはもう支援の枠組みっていうのは35歳未満までだ。それ以上の人に対する施策
You know the real reason why the Japanese government is you know the real reason why they're panicking. I mean, look at who they elected. They elected another baby boomer. She's like 65, 66 years old. Okay, the baby boomers continue to hold on to power indefinitely. Indefinitely. Why are they panicking? Why is the state going absolutely ballistic right now? It's simple. Why did they elect this person? It's because the baby boomers are looking at their social security and they're realizing there's not enough young people in Japan to pay their entitlements. That's what's really going on. Come starting next year, evidently, they're going to be starting a new tax where single people are going to be taxed, and an additional tax is going to be placed on them. Right? But if you're not single, if you're married, then you won't have to pay the tax. And they're saying that this is a way of encouraging young people to get married. You're trying to encourage people who are already struggling to pay their bills by slapping another tax on them. That make sense. That's literally nonsense right there. The reason why they're really doing this, in my opinion, okay, this is my opinion, is because they're looking at what's happening in the country. You have more old people. Every year, there are now more old people passing away than young people being born, and it's been like that for a minute now in Japan. So they can't pay that Social Security anymore. The Japanese have one of, if not the longest lifespan in the world on average. You have more people who are 100 years old and older living in Japan at this moment, evidently. And it's only getting worse. So tell me where things are headed. They're trying to screw over Gen X again. They're trying to screw over older millennials, and they're trying to screw over Gen X again. The reason why is because Gen X, the first generation of Gen X, turned 60 in 2025. So my people are now about to get theirs. My people need to get that Social Security. In about 5 years, Gen X can start collecting, 5, 6 years, Gen X can start collecting Social Security. Okay? And they don't like that. The baby boomers don't like it one bit. Okay, because now you have an entire generation of people who are coming after their Social Security, who are coming after their entitlements. It's not just Social Security; it's social welfare programs. Because every nickel and dime that takes away from public money is a dime is a fewer dollar, a fewer dime to go towards subsidizing the baby boomers. So the baby boomers are fighting tooth and nail to extract as much wealth and resources and value from the younger generation, and of course they're going to look for ways to punish these young people who are withdrawing from society, not because they care about them, not because they actually want them back in society, but because they want them to live happier lives. No, they want them in the workforce, grinding and creating as much wealth as possible, so that mommy can go out and buy that new purse, so daddy can go out and buy that new car, so the baby boomers can continue going on endless cruises to nowhere. That's the reason why they're actually doing this. We've hit a point, because you have to understand, all human beings, the only thing that we are to society is capital. We are capital. We basically create wealth for society, for the wealthy, for the elites. And if these people are staying at home, withdrawn from society, and not creating value, then the way that society views them is as useless and as a drain on society. So they need to go and engage as many of these people as possible, put them back in the workforce, but then at the same time, more and more people are also going down this path, choosing to engage in the hikikomori lifestyle. Here's another thing that they don't let you know about hikikomoris. They assume that all hikikomoris are miserable. That's not true. There's a lot of introverts and a lot of people, even former extroverts. You can't really be a former extrovert. I'm an extrovert, an extreme extrovert. I just can't deal with other people's shit anymore, and who have just walked away from society. And they're even like, I remember seeing mangas and animes about this, where they assume that that all hikikomoris were just losers who were shut-ins, and then you discover that some of these people were like studying law and learning all kinds of insane skills. And like, it's not that they were not able to go into society; they just didn't want to anymore. They locked themselves away, and they basically said, "F society." And they're trying to make it look like, oh, everyone who's withdrawn from society has no social skills. No, bro, it's not everyone. A lot of these people are just tired of the bullshit. They just can't take it anymore, and they don't want to deal with it anymore, so they walked away. That's a big part of it.
楽っていうのがほとんどなかった、引きこもりにならざるを得ないような人たちがっていうのが、一旦やっぱりレールから外れてしまうと、道に戻るっていうことがなかなか難しい。
Though Japan has been taking action like this, seems like loneliness and isolation only keep getting worse and affecting all age groups from the young to the old. For example, more and more elderly people are isolated and dying alone.
This is a crisis that's only going to get worse. Japan has the world's oldest society, with 1 in 10 people aged over 80. There's increasing pressure on the government to do more to care for the vulnerable in life.
My Japanese friend Sugitani-san has been trying to encourage other elderly residents to go out and talk to other people, but he said many refuse to go there.
メンバーがどんどん減ってって、今18人だけど、それでもみんなね、もうそこに、ほんの地元の近くの集会所に歩いてくるのがめんどくさいんだよね。結構話しかけるんだけどね、やっぱり人と会うのが苦手っていうかね、人がやっぱり信用できない。信用できない。できないっていうかね、そういう感じですね。力がね、
It seems like they can't trust people, and now I'm losing motivation to actively invite other elderly residents. So people are withdrawing from society. Completely withdrawing from society, and that's one of the reasons why the elderly are panicking right now, because they know that the young are disengaged, don't care about them anymore, because they feel like no one gives a damn about them, and they're absolutely right. And they're looking around and they're panicking, because they're realizing, how are they going to survive if the young generation is no longer going to subsidize them? These people have been enjoying their golden years for the last 30 to 40 years. That's the insane thing about the baby boomers. They've been enjoying their golden years for the last 30 to 40 years. Like some of y'all don't even realize the first generation of the baby boomers are looking at like their great grandchildren right now. You think I'm kidding? Gen the baby boomers are the parents of Gen X. They have Gen X children or older they have Gen X children or older millennial children. So that means that they have Gen X children, millennial grandchildren, Gen Z great grandchildren. What the living hell? What the hell did I come up with just now? Is that right? No. Gen X Gen X children, millennial grandchildren, Gen Z great grandchildren, Gen Alpha great. So that would make Gen Beta great. What the living hell? These people are living forever, bro. No.
頑張って、どうですか、どうですかって行く気力がなくなってきちゃった。
イベントっていうのかな、日々民生委員の方とかやっていらっしゃると思いますけれども、多分投げかけにもそれに反応してこない。臆病な人が多いから、つながりに対して。
だからそれは私なんかも一人暮らし。孤独ってなんだいろいろ言いますけどね。もうそれしか方法ないような感じで。じゃないけど我々の時代は食べることが大変だからさ、そんなね、考えてる間に働け。
So notice something interesting. This is supposed to be about hikikomori is about young people who are struggling. But listen to the baby boomers. Many of them are afraid of connecting, blah, blah, blah. What does they say? She then goes on, she says, in our generation, we had no food to live on for tomorrow unless we worked. Guys, do you see what they're saying here? In other words, they're basically trying to come to the conclusion. This is the baby boomers. This is the baby boomers. The baby boomers are now trying to put in a policy where hikikomoris are basically people younger than them should not have access to food or shelter unless they work, and if they don't have access to shelter, then they should be homeless on the streets where they will be punished for being homeless or pass away. This is how cold the baby boomers are, y'all. This is especially when jobs are so scarce these days. The economy is so messed up. This is the mindset of the boomers, bro. That's why I keep telling y'all, you have to build something for yourselves. Don't just sit around. You have to go out there, build something for yourselves, design something, because no one is coming to save you. Everyone is just trying to take advantage of you and use you. Okay? I actually made a post about this earlier where I said that I pointed out that, when it comes to labor, they take advantage of us for our labor. And most people actually agreed with me on this. Most people agreed that, we go out, we wish for the best, we hope for the best, and we try to do our best in this world. But the fact is that people are just trying to use you. Like if you look at the poll on the screen, I made that earlier. You can see it says, there's over 500 votes on it. I posted it around 4 hours at the time of making this video. When you let others tell you what your labor is worth, they will always set the bar as low as possible so that they can get more of your labor for the least amount of money. Do you agree? 95% agreed, bro. That's a 95% agreed out of 500 votes. Do you see this? Even the I don't cares, which are usually Gen Xers, most of them basically that's massive engagement because these people love to tap I just don't care, and yet they found the energy and the power to put I agree. So that's strange. That's just unbelievable. That's a big fuck you right there in general. That reflects how messed up our society is. So the boomers are just trying to take advantage of us, guys. That's one of the reasons why you have to build something for yourself. Don't think that there's going to be anyone's coming to save you. Don't think that you're going to find happiness somewhere, in this world. If you don't have wealth and resources, if you don't have a plan, you have to basically you have to basically grab life and grab life by the cojones, and then you have to prepare for hard times because they're here right now. You can go and check out Angry's Creator Academy, guys. We have a lot of amazing courses over there. We have YouTube and the academy. Angry's Creator Academy is linked in the description of the video. We teach you how to learn how to create your own online business using YouTube. We teach you everything you need to learn, know to create services, digital products, everything. You don't need a giant channel. 500 subscribers is a lot of subscribers. If you think about, imagine it like this: 500 subscribers. If you look at them like people, that's 500 people in a room, and one that you've talked to, you've built authority with, you built a relationship with, and now once you basically illustrate what a problem is, all right, you present the solution, and people can tell right away if you know what you're talking about, because they can see how successful you are in your own life. They can see what you've done. Your biggest test will be talking to others and convincing others and being able to influence others. That's your biggest test in life, not an exam, not a piece of paper. Piece of paper, just filling out a piece of paper and scoring a 100. That's a conformity exam. That's not a reality exam. Your goal right now should be to build your own business, build your own brand. You can actually do that with Angry's Creator Academy. And as you can see, these are some of the courses that you're going to have. These are some of the guides that are available to you. YouTube beginner channel creation guide. This is insane. It's a blueprint, and it basically tells you everything you need to know to build out your business, to build out your brand. You guys have to check this out. You have to do it. All right. And we have so much in there. We have the solopreneurs blueprint, how to use YouTube to build your business empire, how to stay safe on YouTube, overcoming copyright issues, channel strikes, the ultimate low cost YouTube creator toolkit. We have that there for you. How to monetize your YouTube channel even with a small audience. We have the secrets top YouTube creators use to get massive views and retention. We have another blueprint over here. AI content creation for your online business. You can check that out. And then of course we have the zero cost creator creator business blueprint for you guys. Go and check them out. All of this is linked in the description of the video. You can go check it. And there's so much more. This is only a little bit. We also have insights. Guys, you need to start working on something for yourself because hard times are here, y'all. Hard times are here. The jobs are disappearing. You can lose yours today. And if you do, you might be homeless in a few months or even a few weeks. And if you want to go hang out with Tyrone in a TTC, Tyrone 10 City, be my guest, put the magic to the test. Or you can learn how to build your own business and brand using YouTube to grow it, and other means. You also get the free content creator blueprint when you sign up to the academy. So all you do is put in your email address and you're going to get that, and that will help you get started. And the link is in the description below, so you can go check that out. Or you can go hang out with Tai. Go hang out at a TTC and see how that works for you.
大変だからさ、そんなね、考えてる間に働けるよ。すごい真面目に働けっていうのが一番。
In our time, we had to work, and if we didn't work, we didn't eat, and we didn't have time to care about loneliness. So these young people, they should not. How dare they care about loneliness? How dare they say they feel lonely and isolate themselves from society and live off their parents or live on scraps? They should not have access to food or shelter at all if they refuse to work. And loneliness is not a reason not to work. Loneliness is not a reason not to grind. This is how cold they are. This is the baby this is the baby boomers, y'all. Y'all, let me tell you something about Japanese people. You have to know how bad it is in Japan because typically Japanese people, they don't want problems. So they tend to conduct themselves usually more calmly. I relate very much to Japanese. The problem is when I see behavior like this, it's frightening because they're getting emboldened. Anytime it's about money, that's when they go crazy and they start to act like their Western counterparts. Oh my gosh, the boomers.
一番の美徳だったからね。だけど今それがないじゃない。人がさ、変な話、 昔は認められたけど今認められないでしょ。だからそういう世界に走っちゃうのかなとか。昔の方がよっぽどね生きるの楽。
うちの子はもう本当にこの日本のね縮図のような気がしてる。だからもう一人者の人が多いもんね。まあこれは心配したってまた入り込めないし難しいんだよね。
Though many people assume hikikomori are mostly men, social isolation has been an issue among women as well, and female ones often overlooked, as they may be mistaken as a housekeeper or housewife, but in reality can be totally isolated in a deep darkness. Madoka-san, who is currently supporting female hikikomori, has exactly been there for nearly a decade.
私の場合は、高校の時、ひどいいじめを受けていて、自分の親友だと思ってた子が陰で私の悪口を広めてたクラスメイトみんなに対してちょっと恐怖感を持つようになってしまったんですけど、人と接すること自体が怖いなと思ってちょっとそれで引きこもってた感じですね。学校で一番きつかったのが同調圧力で、でも無理やりみんなに合わせなきゃみたいな、そういう雰囲気が常にあって、違う意見を持ったり、違う見た目をしてるだけで叩かれるみたいな、学校は私にとってすごい地獄でしたね。
It's really concerning that social isolation has been seen increasingly among the youth, and their suicide number has been on the rise. Many of the young people I talk to say this is not surprising, as they actually experience it and suffered from it. They say Japan's far from addressing the issue, but rather keep hiding or ignoring.
I always had this thought that like if I won't go to a like good high schools, like I'll be a failure. I think there are a lot of dojo atsuyoku. You have to fit in. I'm mixed. My dad is Iranian, my mom is Japanese. The place I grew up was like, well, 99% of them students were Japanese. They look Japanese, often call me like gaijin. So like, if I'm not good enough, they'll bully me. I tried really hard to act same.
Japanese culture, it's pretty like hard to express our like feelings. Even if you have, for example, like mental issues or like difficulties in your life, you don't really want to share it with others because that makes you like a bit different from others, like dojo atsuyoku.
So the thing is, I've had many Japanese friends, and you have to. Okay, so here, the Japanese can be really, really wild. The South Koreans are much wilder than the Japanese, but the Japanese can be wild. I prefer being around Japanese people because I just resonate very much with the culture, and I've had Japanese friends who said that I have a very Japanese personality. But the South Koreans are wild. The South Koreans are wild, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, the drinking culture. Oh my God. Oh my God. I had some South Korean friends who were Christians. Christians. And they were wild. They were wild. So I'm good with I'm good with Japanese. I'm good with the Japanese. They tend to temper things a bit more. The key to the thing is about the Japanese, once they trust you, a lot of them, they'll basically just say the most they let their guard down at different intervals, and they'll say the most this is the crazy thing about Japanese people, because they're so, I don't want to call it repressed, but because they keep so much to themselves, once they trust you and they feel like they can open up to you, they will basically say things that they would never say, or that a lot of people would never admit to in general. Many of their deep desires, and they will say these things, and it's kind of a relief for them, or they can be a little bit aloof. I had a Japanese friend, and she would sometimes just say too much and describe too much, and it made me very distrusting of her, because she would say I don't know if she was trying to impress me, but it's like, you don't have to tell me every single detail. At the same time, I want you to be open and honest with me. I want you to tell me what you think and what you're feeling. It's okay if you have your kinks. I don't care, but it was just like there was like there could be a communication gap with a lot of Japanese people, because sometimes they don't communicate as openly and as freely as others. This is not to say that Japanese people don't have communication skills. Many do have decent or good communication skills, but some can have poor communication skills. Another thing is when they come to the US, they often learn bad habits because they never learned how to properly communicate in their society. They come to America and they believe that being disrespectful or using profanity just on a normal basis is acceptable. They struggle with this. And you can forgive them a bit for it, but they can be a bit aloof to it. It's kind of like it's going from Japan to the US can be in many cases like it could be going from like 0 to 100, 0 to 60 in under a minute. It's like because like from just like the shift from keeping your mouth shut to basically saying whatever you think. It could be a little problematic, but like I said, I like the Japanese. They can be kind of a little kooky because once you get to know them and they start to talk to you, the things they're so normal, and the things that I feel more comfortable with the Japanese than any group of people, to be very clear. And it's interesting when you learn how to read them because you can begin learning how to read their personalities, how to read their temperaments, how to read their politeness. Just because they are polite does not mean that they are kind, but it's and that's actually and doesn't mean that all Japanese are unkind, but it's a very interesting thing. Yeah, it's such a very intriguing thing. But yeah, a lot of these young people right now, people in general, they're at a point where they're just exhausted from the economic fatigue that Japan has been going through a long time. And the baby boomers are kind of like, yeah, little bro, you need to come up with that money because mommy needs to eat, mommy needs to live, mommy needs to go and take that carnival cruise adventure. You think the Japanese baby boomers don't like to go on carnival cruise ships? You've got to be kidding me. No one knows. Let me tell y'all, never forget, no one knows how to party like a boomer knows how to party. All right, that's what they do. That's how they live. They live in their best life. They're living their best life. That's the that's the baby boomers for you. That's the baby boomers for you. It was always about the living that life and just really enjoying yourself. Just really enjoying yourself. Really enjoying yourself at the expenses of others.
I think we have to be kind of like the same as others. That's something I also feel. It's so hard to like communicate about my like struggles, I would say. Even though we have some school counselors, it's not really like well known or like well recognized. Sometimes the quality of the counselor is not really good based on my experience.
In Japan, social anxiety, sometimes it just gets looked over. Therapy isn't very common. Many Japanese people are still very hesitant to seek help for themselves, like mental health. When you have a different opinion or when you try to speak up against other people, you don't automatically get bullied, but sometimes you feel that people will leave you out of certain situations, or you get slowly pushed away. That's also what I noticed in Japan.
I feel like I'm judged by someone else if I express my opinion. Environment is not actually inclusive. Yeah.
One of the keys that with the Japanese is not to take them too seriously, because you're dealing with people who a lot of people feel so. It is I've done. We all do it ourselves. We can be very rude and nasty to others because we are insecure within ourselves. Like a lot of times when we're rude to others and we're disrespectful to others, or we try to shame in others, we're not doing. We're just projecting what we feel on the inside. We're just projecting our own insecurity. There's no reason to treat someone else like garbage. There's no one to shame someone else. There's nowhere. No. There's a difference between being between reality and trying to be mean and spiteful and vindictive, especially to someone who's just trying to survive and live the way you live just like you. You're basically expressing your own internal insecurities and pushing them onto others. And that's what ends up happening with a lot of Japanese people. They have, because that insecurity, they then end up projecting it onto others, and that's the thing. So you can't really take them too seriously. If I know how to deal with a Japanese person, if they're being disrespectful to you or they're trying to do something, you just look at them like really aloof, like just give them like a blind stare and then ignore them and go right back to doing what you have to do. And that's only going to make them feel more insecure. It's basically a tool. You have to basically shut down your face and don't smile, just listen listen, and then freeze them out. It's a tool for dealing with narcissists. But the reality is that you're not trying to be mean. You're just basically allowing them to either leave you, like, reflect or walk away or leave you alone, or to reset and to change their behavior. That's the honest to goodness truth. I don't have I don't have time for the BS, okay? If you don't want to be polite, then I don't care. I will just find someone else who will be polite. I do not tolerate that nonsense. For me, I respect Japanese culture and social norms, but I don't make those cultures, and so I don't make the culture and the social norms my own culture and my own social norms. As I know how you're like, well, how do you do that? You respect the culture, you respect the community that you're within, but you do not take on their own personal beliefs and philosophies unless that aligns with your views, and you also try to stay away from the negative aspects of their culture and views, and you do not try to embody that into yourself. It takes time to really comprehend that. So I understand the insecurity. For me, I just don't care. I literally don't care. If you don't like me, I don't care. If you like, for example, Japanese, they will like send you messages, they'll stop talking to you. I'm no better than them. I've done some of these exact same things. I know. That's why I understand the Japanese so much, is because it's the way that I was raised by my parents. You know, why I basically ended up like this. But and I've always been a fan of the culture, and I'm very intuitive, and a lot of Japanese people are like that as well. We share a lot, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, you can't worry about other people. You can't worry what other people think. You be mindful of your surrounding. You can be mindful of others, but you cannot let others dictate how you feel and how you live your life. And that's really one of the things. And it's interesting because now you have these people who are like, oh, men come back to society. And it's not happening. Men are not going to run back to society. Men are not going to run back to save society, a society that does not even like us. But yeah, guys, where this is ultimately ending is where this is ultimately heading is more and more baby boomers demanding that the young people subsidize them. But you cannot force people to care about society. If you notice, the boomers are like, how dare you feel lonely? How dare you want to lock yourself away? We need to stop giving these people food and shelter if they refuse to work, so that they can generate enough income to subsidize us. They don't understand that they're only making society more miserable, and they're only going to push people further out. And if you say things like mandatory military service, that's not going to change anything. Turning people into drones doesn't make them care about society. That just makes them want to hide and do the bare minimum as much as possible. It's basically you're creating hostages with smiles, and that's a terrible way of running a society, because now those people are no longer invested. Now they just see you as a jailer who they have to smile when they're around. You cannot forget about trust. I mean, guys, you really think that you want people like that around you, who are not invested in you? They don't care anything about you. They just, again, it's hostages with smiles, and it's not going to bring people back to a society that they're not invested in. That's only going to push them to their absolute brink. But that's who the baby boomers are, because they've always been selfish, and they've never cared about anyone else but themselves. But let me know what you guys think. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, and walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.